Okay, this is vocabulary number 5, words to describe characters. This time I decided to go with a bunch of positive character traits since we've been focusing on negative. You do not have to write the definitions in your notebook. I'm going to give you a copy in class. Virtual students, please print out a copy and paste in your vocabulary notebook. I'm assuming you have a printer. If you don't have a printer, you're going to have to jot down the words in your notebook. Non-judgmental. Mr. Durante and Mrs. Coffey are non-judgmental counselors who listen with an open ear to all students' problems and issues. Their office is a safe place to talk. So I want you to use context clues to make a prediction as to what non-judgmental means. So context clues are words or phrases in the sentence that give you a hint as to what the meaning of the word is. So go ahead and do that now. People who are non-judgmental, they do not judge or criticize others. So for example, Jen is a non-judgmental kind of person. She hangs out with all different people of different religions and races. To her, it doesn't matter who or what you are. What matters is if you are a nice person or not. So you're not judging others. Humble. Jen was quite humble after scoring the winning goal. She graciously walked off the field, not bragging about her accomplishment. So use context clues to make a prediction as to what humble means. So not only do you write down your guess, your educated guess, but also the words or phrases in the sentence that are making you think that this is the meaning of the word. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, humble describes someone who doesn't have an excessive amount of pride. So it's the opposite, it's an antonym of pompous. Another example would be, due to Jen's humble attitude, none of her friends knew she was extremely intelligent and very accomplished at her job. So humble means you're not going out there bragging about everything and how great you are. Rather, you keep it to yourself. Perceptive. John's parents are not very perceptive. Therefore, they did not notice the warning signs of him becoming depressed. So use context clues to try to determine the meaning. Write down the context clues and what your guess is as to the meaning of perceptive. So when you're perceptive, it describes people who are able to notice and understand things that many other people do not notice. So for example, a psychiatrist or a therapist or a psychologist really need to be perceptive. An example would be, as the experienced shoplifter swiped the necklace from the open case in the jewelry store, the perceptive owner of the store realized what he did. So the owner was, obviously looking around and noticing things, and so therefore he was perceptive. It takes a perceptive person to become a detective so that he or she will spot every detail of the crime scene. Authoritative. As you can tell, Jen's kids are up to 3 a.m. on a school night playing Xbox. She's not an authoritative mother. So use context clues. I don't know why this says, as you can tell. Jen's kids, there you go. All right, it's commanding, likely to be respected and obeyed. So if you look here, this is the opposite. Jen is not authoritative with her children because they're not listening to her. The principal has such an authoritative presence that even rebellious students behave around him. Ted will never become a store manager because he isn't authoritative and lacks the traits needed to supervise others. So this is very similar to, assertive, right? Ambitious. The ambitious group of students formed a study group and studies 1 week straight for the exam. They were all determined to get 100%. So using context clues, what do you think ambitious means? Pay attention to the OUS suffix. So OUS means full of. So what are they full of? Write down your prediction and the context clues you're using to help you form your prediction. Strong desire to succeed if you're ambitious. The ambitious adventurer set out on an expedition to climb Mount Everest. So you're full of the desire to succeed. The ambitious young executive did everything he could do to make it to the top. He was determined to become the president of the company, so he's ambitious. Optimistic. Optimistic and hopeful, the couple set out on a hunt to find their dream home. So using the sentence, find some context clues and make a prediction. Write down your prediction and the clues that you use to help you come up with a prediction. So when you're optimistic, you're hoping or believing that good things will happen. So an antonym of optimistic is a pessimistic. That means you always think about the bad things. She's optimistic about her chances of winning a gold medal. So in other words, she's hoping or believing that she's going to win. Though we haven't won a game all year, our team is still optimistic that today we will win. Jenny is optimistic and hopes for the best even when things look bleak. So bleak means bad, dark, not good. So optimistic. Protective. The lioness are fiercely protective of their young. They will do whatever it takes to keep them from getting hurt. So using context clues, make a prediction as to the definition, write down your definition, and the clues that you use to help form this prediction. So it means having the desire to protect others from harm. It's a pretty easy one. The protective brother kept his brother safe by keeping the bullies away. Tolerant. Even though Jen's roommate played the same awful rap music over and over, she was tolerant and listened to it even though she despised it. So using context clues, make a prediction as to what the word means, write down your prediction, and the clues you use to help form this prediction. So basically means you accept people who are unlike you or put up with stuff that you don't like. So the tolerant mother put up with her son's constant complaining even though she was getting a headache from all of his whining. So you're tolerant. All right, and that is it.